Welcome back to Jill's Safe Space. She said, hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. This week we are talking about why I went vegan. It's not that long of a story, but I did a poll on my Instagram story asking what you would like to see from me content wise, and this was one of the more highly requested questions that I received. So let's get into that. But first, business as usual. Please, if you are new here, welcome to my channel. I'm Jill, and if you haven't already, please subscribe and press the notification bell so that you are notified every time I post a new video. I'm thinking of posting every Monday, so make sure that you subscribed and notified so that when this video drops you get that message so you can come and view this face of mine. Okay, so let's talk about why I went vegan. Growing up, I followed the normal standard Western diet: meat, eggs, dairy, vegetables, lots of butter, all that kind of stuff. And I seemed to be fine and happy until I wasn't. I said last week that I study a degree that has psychology, social work and criminology, and the one day, just a normal regular day, I went to a lecture and my lecturer just started talking about how she was vegetarian. And obviously I didn't really take much note of it then, but I've always been an animal lover. I've always loved animals. It's a huge passion and love of mine. So she started talking about why she was vegetarian because someone asked her, and she gave her explanation, and I didn't really think anything of it until she said, why would you want to eat something that could love you? And it just hit me like a freight train. Honestly, it's the only explanation I have. And I sat there for a while and I was like, whoa, how can you call yourself an animal lover if you eat animals? And I was like, oh my word, facts. So I went home and I thought about it some more, and I came to the conclusion that I was going to go pescatarian because I felt at the time, obviously I don't feel this way anymore, but I felt that fish don't really have feelings and it would be okay if I carried on eating them and obviously still eating eggs and dairy and all that kind of stuff. So I went pescatarian and that lasted for about 9.5 months. But during that time I wasn't eating the right nutrition. I did not do the right research and did not eat properly. I ate mostly carbs, hardly any protein and iron, mostly veg and potatoes, rice, that kind of stuff, and fish. Not that much fish, but still ate fish, eggs, lots of eggs and dairy. Until one day my mom and I looked at myself. So like I said in the previous video, I used to have super long thick hair. So transitioning to pescatarian, within that 9 months my hair thinned out. I probably lost about 3/4 of my hair, and my mom and I became very aware and worried about what was going on, and obviously we didn't want to admit it because then I would probably go back to the normal diet, the standard Western diet of meats and eggs and all that kind of stuff. So I took a hard look at myself and I realized that maybe I needed to go back to the normal diet just so I could get myself back on track, which at the time seemed like the right idea, which only lasted about 2 weeks. But so I started eating meat again, and I remember I was still in Cape Town and my parents came to Cape Town to see us, me, my brother and my sister, and we had a dinner of steak and vegetables, and I cut into my steak obviously it being medium rare, the blood and everything came out of it, and I looked at it and I was like, oh my god, am I actually going to eat this? And I took a bite of it and it just didn't sit right with me. And I carried on for the rest of the 2 weeks, and at the end of it I was like, I actually can't go back to eating meat. To be unconscious and then become aware and conscious of what you're eating, to go back to unconscious and unaware, is almost impossible. So I started doing some research into other diets, and a few of my friends were actually starting to transition to a vegan diet, and actually didn't really notice it at the time, but it was more of a subtle push towards veganism. And I was following a few people, and I started watching YouTube videos and actually looked at it, the veganism as a whole, and fully accepted and agreed with their philosophies and primary reasons for not eating meat, eggs, dairy, all that kind of stuff, and decided to go for it. And as it turned out, I actually decided to transition from pescatarian / Western diet to veganism just before a festival. I was going to Rocking the Daisies, so I did a whole bunch of research and meal prepped a whole bunch of stuff to take with me to the festival, because I wasn't sure if there would be alternatives, vegan alternatives at the festival, which they ended up being, but also I had stuff, so I was okay. From that festival, I was like, okay, I'm into this, I'm gonna do it. And I think one of the things about me is I'm quite stubborn, and if I say I'm going to do it, I end up doing it. So I did a whole bunch of research, found a whole bunch of recipes, and started. And I found that it took about almost a year to stop craving eggs and cheese. And the story with eggs and cheese is obviously so concentrated that your body, it's very, very addictive. So it took me a really, really long time to stop craving. And meat, I didn't really have a problem craving, because obviously I had gone pescatarian before, so I didn't really miss it at all. And I started off in veganism very slow and not knowing that much compared to where I am now, and I'm very aware of what I need to be eating every day and what I need to be putting into my body so that it is able to function and that I am nourishing it the right way. As you can see, my hair is coming back. It is now curly, which it never used to be, plus I figured out how to keep it nice and curly, so that's cool. Yeah, so supplement wise, I take a B12 biotin, and I've just started a vegan collagen supplement, but I will let you know how that goes. I've only literally started it like 2 days ago. And then I take 2 green pills from Soaring Superfoods. I take the spirulina and the barley grass. I normally take that with lunch so that it's digested properly. Obviously with iron, anything with iron, you should always consume it with vitamin C, because it helps with the absorption. Looking back at my journey is something I tend to do quite regularly. I'm very proud of where I have come and how much I've learned just about nourishing my body and doing what is best for me in my beliefs and morals. And if you guys have any questions that you'd like to ask me, or if you have anything that you would like to know, please feel free to comment down in the comments down below, and I will reply with my knowledge of what I have and the best advice that I can give you. I want to help you guys as much as I can, and if you have anything that you think I would be able to answer, or if you would like to know anything about me personally, please write it in the comments below, because I would happily reply to you and give you the best advice that I can do. If you are starting off in the vegetarian or vegan journey, I would like to welcome you. Welcome. And one of the best pieces of information or key advice I can give you is to start every day afresh. So if by any chance you tend to fall off the wagon, or if by accident someone gives you cheese, or if you accidentally eat egg, don't beat yourself up about it. It's one of those things where things happen and you can't always control that. One of the main reasons I eat at home is because then it eliminates that problem altogether, but that's just another point. So if you, whether on purpose or unintentionally, eat dairy, eggs, meat, whatever, just let that day be that day and start the next day afresh and do that. And it is one of the best things you can do. Start clean the slate and eat how you want to eat, because beating yourself up about eating something, whether on purpose or unintentionally, is not going to do you any good. It really isn't. So if you make sure your slate is clean the next day, you are able to move on. You kind of forget about what happened and do what you need to do and eat what you really want to eat. So I would like to thank you for watching my beautiful video. This is just my little journey that I've been on, and I would love to see you again next week. So stay happy and spread love. Bonus, my dad told me this saying yesterday. He said, it's much easier to be smart than kind. Being kind is a choice, and I think everyone needs it in this time that we're in. South Africa still in lockdown, stage 5. Hopefully by Thursday this coming week it will move to stage 4. So let's help each other out. Ask your neighbor if they're okay, if they need anything. Check in with your friends and make sure that they're okay, because people are much more honest with themselves than they are with others. So asking someone how they are, they might not actually tell you how they are, but they might say something that you get an inkling and being like, okay, they're not okay, or they do tell you that they're not okay. And even just checking in and telling them that you love them will bring joy and make them feel appreciated. Because I mean, even isolation, the word isolation, people feel very isolated and alone, and no one is ever alone. So let's do it. Spread kindness, spread love, and let's all be kind to each other, because everyone needs that. And let's appreciate our friends and make sure that you tell people that you love them, because you never know how long you're going to be on this earth. Even the Haridas are saying be kind. So I will see you guys next week, and thank you for watching.